Hello everyone and welcome back to Poppy Seed Mini. Today we're going to be showing you how to make this adorable, cute couch for your dollhouse. And we have a bunch of other projects that we're working on, like a full dollhouse made out of cardboard. And this couch is going to be part of that series, as well as this little sneak peek at the gallery wall behind me. So we can't wait to share with you what's coming next, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of Poppy Seed Mini. So let's get crafting. To get the pattern for this build, you can visit our blog at poppyseedmini.blogspot.com. The link will be in the description box below.
The first thing you want to do is put your pattern down and draw around it. Now take your X-Acto knife and you're going to cut it out. Always remember to use a sharp blade and be careful when you're using a utility knife. And take your time. You want this nice. Cut out 3 more of these.
Cut out all the rest of your foam core board pieces using the measurements in the description box below.
Using recycled cereal boxes, cut out 2 strips, 3/8 by 14.5 inches. To make the frame for your sofa, you'll need to use your 2 3 by 8 inch pieces, your 2 1 by 8 inch pieces, and your 2 1 by 2 5/8 inch pieces. Take one of your 3 by 8 pieces and glue along one side, the long side. Then place your 1 by 8 inch piece on top and hold it until it dries. Make sure you got that on even. Now take your smaller piece and just put some glue on the bottom and on one side and place it down on one end. Do the same to the other side. Now glue the next long piece on. Just add glue along the back here and then up the little sides. Then make a strip around the top all the way around to place the top piece on. And this is the bottom part of your sofa. Take your side pieces and glue the 2 together. Make sure you get them straight and they fit nice. Glue together a pair for each side. Glue 2 3 by 2 5/8 pieces together to make your seat cushions. Make all 3. When choosing a fabric, I highly recommend a textured home decor fabric. Mine is fused on the back sides so it doesn't fray. If you want to use a fabric that frays, use a fusible interfacing to stabilize your fabric. Now we're going to cut out our fabric. The first thing you need to do is take your piece for your side panel and trace around it. I'm using this marker so you can see what I'm doing. Wrong side. Now flip it so you have the opposite side. Make a total of 4 pieces. Then cut them out. You should have 2 left and 2 right. Cut out all the other pieces according to the dimensions in the description box below. Place a strip of double-faced tape on the bottom of the back piece of your panel, like this. Now take your fabric and place it a 1/4 of an inch to an inch on the bottom here. Pull your fabric over and hot glue this down. Now take your fabric scissors and cut out a notch at the bottom on each side. Now fold over the back of your couch on the side, and if it's too much lapping over, cut off a little bit so there isn't just enough to cover the edge of the foam core board, and then hot glue down. Now cut 2 tiny slits right at the top, and now glue that little slit down. And now for the front, check to make sure there's not too much fabric there, and if it looks good, glue it down just the way it is. And as you can see, there's a little bit sticking out here. I'm just going to clip that off. And it should look just like this. Now do the other side. Now take the bottom front panel and put double-faced tape on the top and the bottom of this strip. Now before we put this on our panel, we're going to glue these ends down on each side. Now place your panel down. Now glue your front panel to your box frame. Now I'm going to glue down the fabric on the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to glue the box to the back panel. Hold it for a while so make sure it's glued well. Now glue the fabric in the back down on the box. Now we're going to make the arms for our sofa. And the first thing I'm going to let you know is a trick. Put your double face tape down. This holds your fabric so that it doesn't slip around and you have a lot of control over it. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be on there to hold your fabric. Now, place your fabric down and very carefully place your arm piece down so you just have enough room to glue it around to cover one of your foam core boards. So we're going to start on the bottom and glue it down. Now turn to the back side and glue down the back side. Now, as you can see, the corner is kind of sticking up. You want to pinch that and then take your fabric scissors and clip it off. Now go to the top piece and check to see how long it is. If it needs a little clipping, take a little bit off and then glue this down. And then pinch that corner again. And if that one corner on the one side doesn't lay down right, add a little more glue and pinch it. And then take your fabric scissors and clip that off so it lays nice and smooth all the way around. Now, starting on the curve, as you can see, I have a little, it looks good. So this time you're gonna add your glue right to the fabric, and you're only gonna do 1 inch to start with. And then press it down and hold because you want that curve to be nice and smooth. Okay, we have that corner piece again, and just clip that right off. Now add glue to the rest of the fabric along that curve and press it down. Now we got the small curve. You're just going to do a little bit of it and get that curve nice and sharp. Press it down and then pinch on that top piece. And then clip that pinched piece off. And now finish gluing that part. Now we have the front, and it is a little too wide, so I'm going to clip a little bit off. Now press it down. And this time you're going to have 2 ends to cut off. Pinch and cut off. Now take your double face tape again, and we're going to do the other side. Again, lay your fabric down and place your panel right on top. And remember, because you taped it, you can adjust it if it's not in the right place. Now, again, start on the bottom. And glue down the bottom first. Then turn to the back. And press down. Pinch your corner and then trim it off. Now glue the top small piece. And pinch that corner together. And then clip it off. Now, like the last time, only go an inch with the glue and hold it down so you get that nice curve. And trim that little area at the top. Now finish the curve and hold it down. And as you can see, I have too much fabric right here, so I'm going to trim a little bit of that off. And then there's going to be a little piece of fabric here, so you're going to want to trim that off. And as you can see along the front here, I also have too much fabric, so I'm going to trim just a little bit off. It's better to have too much than not enough. Again, trim the corners. Now we're going to make the trim to go around the edge. The first thing you're going to do is take your repurposed or recycled cardboard. I used a cereal box, and you're going to add double-faced tape to one side. And place it on the wrong side or the back side of your fabric. Now, using your hot glue gun, we're gonna hot glue this a little at a time so you don't burn yourself. And fold this over. And try to do this as neat as possible. Now take your trim and starting in the back, about a ½ an inch from the back, start gluing it around. And then very carefully try to get that fold nice and sharp. Start gluing around the back. And I like to smear my glue around so it's not a big lump, so it doesn't squeeze out on your side. But take your time, hold it down and press it and make sure it is right on the back and not over the edge. This is very important. When you get to the curve, you're only going to want to do an inch at a time to make sure that gets down there really tight. Now for the small curve, kind of work your trim in so you know it's going to lay flat. When you get back down to the bottom, check and see if you have leftover trim, and if you do, you need to cut that down. Okay, now we're going to glue our frame onto our arms. So always check to make sure where you're going to put the glue before you glue it on. I made the mistake of doing this on one of them and it really messed it up. So it looks really good like this, so I'm just going to glue it on. And I'm just using hot glue to glue it on. Now let's do the other side. Make sure again it's going to look right when you glue it on, and it looks good. Set it on and press it down. Now what I'm going to do is I got these beads from the Dollar Tree, and I think they come in 3 different colors when you buy it. And I'm going to place 4 of them for my little legs. So I'm just going to turn it over and add glue to the ends, like so. There we go. And that's what it should look like. And now we're going to make the cushions. The first thing you're going to need to do is glue the 2 pieces together. And you're going to make 3. After you glued your piece together, take it and put it on your batting and cut out 2 pieces. Now, using your hot glue, just put a little in the middle and tack it down. Like so. Now you're going to take your fabric, and you want the right side facing up. And as you can see, I'm using a thicker fabric, so I had to trim this down like a 1/16 of an inch so that it will fit on the sofa. If you have too thick of fabric, it can cause some trouble putting the seats on. So now what you want to do is take your fabric, fold it in the corners, and pin it. Do this on all 4 sides. Now what I'm going to do, you can do this on a sewing machine or you can sew it by hand. I'm going to just sew it by hand today. And I'm just going to do a back stitch. And I'm going to sew all 4 sides. This will give you a nice square cushion when you get it done. And you only want to go like a 1/2 inch when you're doing this. Then tie it off. And as you can see, it's only sewn to a certain point, and this is going to get cut off when we get it all done. And what you're going to do is where you have your sew mark, where you sewed, you're going to cut 1/4 of an inch away from that, like so. And do that on all 4 sides. And now it should look like this. Now flip it over. Now take your seat and slip it on, making sure all the corners are in the right spot. And as you can see, by sewing it, you get a nice edge. So now flip it over, and you're going to start with the long edge or the long side and hot glue it down. Turn it around and do the other side. Now take your scissors and clip the ends on the side you just glued down. Then you're going to take the side you haven't glued down, and you're just going to clip the sides at an angle, just a small angle. And then you're going to hot glue that down. As you can see, I didn't clip this enough, so go back and clip it. To make sure the corners are nice and tight, go back in and add a little glue on that edge and push it in. Now do the same on the other side. Add a little glue here and make sure this is down good. Like so. Now take your cushions and we're going to glue them in one at a time. You want to make sure they get to the edge, so they're kind of flat going down here. You might have a little gap. That's going to be covered up by the other pillow, but you really can't see it. Then glue in the next one. And there you go. Now we're going to make the back pillows. To make the pillow for the back of the sofa, you take your 3.5 by 7 inch piece of fabric and fold it over, and then fold it over, and then put it on your ruler. You only want it to be 2 3/4 inch. Pin it down. Now I'm going to sew along the edge using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now that the pillow is sewn, clip off your corners. Turn it right side out. Use the tip of your scissors to make the corners pointed. Take your fluff and stuff your pillow. Now, using your glue gun, go in and add some glue. Now, pop your pillows in place. And now you're finished. Isn't this cute? What a beautiful sofa.
Hey guys, let us know in the comments down below what you would like to see us add to our upcoming dollhouse build. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Poppy Seed Money. We hope you'll like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have fun making your new couch.